and I'm going to teach you how to do architecture visualizations using Photoshop post-production. Well, I finally started YouTube after so long of promising that I'll do, but I've been receiving a great number of messages asking me to do. I personally believe I should still work on myself and improve, but I've been really grateful for these messages, especially that I'm getting them from all over the world, from Brazil, Canada, Iraq, Iran, Pakistan, Syria, and Egypt. So I really hope that you find my videos helpful. In this first video, I'm going to show you 7 tips that I believe are really helpful when you start visualizing your scene. Tip number 1, get deep wide. What do you mean by that? So, by the time you're starting the visualization, you've probably already decided your site, done your site analysis, and even developed your concept. So, you have to get deep wide and think, how do you want to deliver your concept through the visualization? Your visualization is a means to deliver your concept. So you have to think about the details, the mood, the color scheme, the feeling of the space. Tip number 2, use your camera angle wisely. The camera angle is something that most people discard, but it's really important when you want to deliver your concept again. So you have to have at least one perspective that is very prominent in showing what you want to deliver. For example, if you're going to take a top view of the building, you may be wanting to show how the building is very harmonious with its site or how it contrasts with its site. If you're going to take a human scale perspective, you may be wanting to show how it interacts with humans, how it interacts with the street, and so on. Tip number 3, understand color and material blend. Well, most people, they believe that I use filters for the visualization so that I can give it this glow. This is not true. Here's the truth. I do not use filters, I play with colors. Colors are very important, especially for the blend of all these pictures you're going to insert into your visualization collage. For example, if you are putting a certain hue saturation for your building, and then you insert a person with a different hue saturation, is going to end up that this person is sticking on the building. It is not true that he is living inside this building. Okay, and the same goes with materials. Materials make really a great deal of difference in the feeling of the space, the size of the space, and the function of the space. Tip number 4, be careful about lights and shadows. So, you've probably heard a lot about lights and shadows in basic design classes, art classes, or any art skills. The same goes to visualization, and you have to know that there are some common concepts that sometimes we do not consider when we start working, but in that case, you have to consider lights and shadows. So you have to be careful where the light hits your building when you're taking it from 3ds Max or any other rendering program. Then you have to match every other picture you're going to insert to the same lights and shadows from the rendering. So for example, if this is your building and this is where the light hits it and this is where are the shadows, and then you're going to insert something simple like the sky. This is if the left side is more cloudy than the right, you may be having to flip it horizontally so that it is more logical and makes more sense, and everything it gets more realistic to the eye. Tip number 5, understand some landscape. What do you mean by that? Well, if you grasp or read some details about the landscape study, you'll be able to do magic with Photoshop, trust me. Because these small details matter for making something from unrealistic to really realistic. So So, for example, if you know that there should be a pavement and then the transitional stage between a pavement and the grass area is going to be shrubs, and then there are some trees for shading where are people sitting, there are some trees used for privacy if it's in place and a fence, and the list goes on. If you know these some details, you're going to add them to your visualization and give it more life. Tip number 6, use people as a marketing tool. So, okay, some people, they do not prefer to add any human figures to the visualizations, but I personally do think that they can be used as a marketing tool. And how is that? So let's take an example of a coffee advertisement. What did he do? The most easy type of advertisement is that they bring people who are relatable to you, and they show you how they are really happy when they drink coffee, how do they develop relationships while they're drinking coffee, and so on. So the same goes to the visualization. If you bring relatable people to your target audience and add them to your building, it's going to be like a marketing. People are going to feel like this is a place that they have been to before, or they that want to try. So, for example, if you're adding a single person or just quite a few people, you may be wanting to show the concept of solitude, or this is a quiet place. If you're adding lots of people, you may be wanting to show that this is a busy place. If you're adding a child that is running all by himself, you may be wanting to show this is a safe place. And the list goes on. Listen, I'm going to talk about this in a separate video later, and most of the tips I'm going to elaborate on later. So I hope you find these as well helpful. Tip number 7, don't try so much to be perfect. Instead, be different. Don't waste your time and energy trying so much to be perfect, because trust me, it's really hard. No one can be perfect. This is something that makes me sad sometimes, but it is the truth. So you may end up unnoticed just because you may be similar to someone else, even if you are trying to be perfect. But you should do something that is different to catch the eye or to stand out in the crowd. So, how do you do that? You do not have to start from zero, because some people believe that you have to invent so you can be creative, and they understand or have a wrong misconception about the word invent. Nothing comes from zero. Everything, even if you are drawing, you're inspired from nature. If you are having a concept for a building, you are inspired from the site, and the list goes on. There's always something that is a starting point. So, anyways, I'll tell you maybe 3 ways that you can be different. Like, you can combine 2 different styles that were never combined before. You can also add new elements or contrasting elements or contrasting materials so that they can be eye-catching. Or you can also create a relatable mood that people can relate to, so they feel some relativity to your building. So that's it for our first video. If you liked it, please like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram so that you know when I'm going to announce that I'm releasing a new video. And tell me if you want me to talk about something special. And that's it. Thank you.